One of the biggest complaints of Commodore owners is the fact that they never shipped with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So today we're going to be retrofitting wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto into this VF series Commodore using the Get Car Tech DIY CarPlay module. We'll start with our trim removal tool. We'll pop off the trim either side of the hazard button. These come off really easy, and with our trim tool it makes it 10 times easier. On the left side we just drop the glove box. We can start it off with our fingers. We'll work our way from left to right, and when we reach the very end, that's when our trim tool is going to come in handy again. We can pop these in the back seat away from harm. The only other tool we're going to need today is a 7mm socket. That's it. It's the trim removal tool and a 7mm socket. And once we've removed those trims, it'll expose us 4 bolts that hold in the screen and the climate control panel. Once those are out, we can pop the climate control panel out towards us, and there's a little connector on the back there. We just unclip that, pop it in the back seat out of harm's way. Then the entire screen panel is all one piece, so we can start to work that with our fingers around the perimeter until it's out. And then there are 3 color-coded connectors on the back of the screen. Again, we're going to put this out of harm's way. Finally, the radio itself, we can pop this out with 4 bolts, and once that's out, we can drop down the glove box. Now there's 3 bolts to hold the glove box in. If we remove those, it'll drop down just enough for us to fit our module inside. Here is the module itself. This is going to live above the glove box, and we can actually use the top of the box to use as a landing pad for the radio itself. We don't want that to scratch any trim, so we've also laid down a towel. Now we have great access behind the radio, and we can begin to unplug some of the stock connectors from the back of the radio. It's super simple. We include some Y connectors. All you do is unplug the factory version, plug in the aftermarket version, and then run the cables through to the top of the glove box. Now that all the connections are made behind the radio, we can start to massage it back into place. We've added a little bit of extra mass here, so it might take a couple of seconds, but we've got it seated back in place. Now we can connect the module. So we start with the blue connector, which is our video, then the USB, and then the main power connector. We know it's working because the red lights will flash on the front. We can now place the module. We just pull the glove box down a little bit and then sneak it past all the obstructions. And once that glove box is back in place, that module is not going anywhere. Now we can begin testing. So we'll reattach the screen. We're going to put all the pieces of trim back in before we begin to test, but let's get this thing going. So we started up, the MyLink system appears, which is a great sign. Now we can connect a phone. So we connect to the module via Bluetooth. We hit pair, allow, and then connect when the CarPlay prompt appears. And then we can see on our MyLink screen that we're straight into Apple CarPlay. How easy was that? Apple CarPlay runs at 60 frames per second. It's compatible with all the steering wheel button controls, all of the factory functions like the heads-up display, the reverse camera. It truly is as if wireless CarPlay was installed at factory. Inside of CarPlay, we've got some fantastic features like Waze navigation, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Maps, and the best part is we can hold down the back button and re-access the MyLink system at any time. This is really important for owners of HSVs that still want to access the EDI performance interface, and for anyone who just wants to keep the stock look and feel of their VF series Commodore. As you can see, that reverse camera is working perfectly with our CarPlay system. If you're interested in one of these are available at getcartech.com, and these are $50 off up until the end of the year.